All right, we are live with the DukNilla NFL cast post Pro Bowl. We are recording this on Thursday night. I get what time. What time is it? Thursday, 8:43 p.m. EST.
7:43 Central.
If you're in
For the
Wisconsin,
cool people.
in
For the cool
Wisconsin
people living
time.
in the Central.
Yeah. Yep. I am rocking the pedazzle as your current playoff, as our current overall picks record here holder, the champion by one game. We will get the opportunity today to switch if we want. I don't know if Duck wants to switch.
No,
I don't.
there. End of that conversation. Ain't no switching. Ain't no switching.
Spoiler alert: we ain't switching our picks. We are rock solid. If you know, maybe the people want to get a little bit more detail on why we're taking who we're taking. Other than just picking against me this week, what makes you confident that the Cincinnati Joe Burrows are going to win?
Right there. Joe Burrow. This kid is doing more than most people have done in a lifetime. He's doing it in the past few years. He's did this in high school, college, and now his second year in the NFL, where he's had a full year. I mean, he could have done this last year. We don't know, right?
Yeah.
We don't know what he could have done last year. He could have been in the playoffs last year if he wasn't hurt. But they didn't have Jamar Chase then either. So
no.
So that makes a big difference, right?
Yeah, and
I like the confidence of him. I'm not big on cocky standout type of quarterbacks, and he's not that. He's plain simple. He kind of reminds me of Tom Brady in that sense. Not
big
I'm not
pumped up
no,
brakes.
Listen, just listen. Get out of here with this pumping the brakes. I'm not saying he's the GOAT already. I'm saying the mentality coming into this season. Yeah, he was a first overall pick against the second round, but our sixth round. But we're seeing somebody coming in and not being overly crazy. He's done some antics. He's got a few things here and there, but the team is playing really well. I think it's going to be, I'm just stuck on them right now. Even with some of the injuries on defense, they've been doing pretty well on defense still too. So I'm looking at the injury reports, and for Bengals, they have 5 players, and out of that 5, 3 of them were full participation in practice as of the last practice. CJ Uzoma did not participate at all. Tight end. Uzama. So their tight end, that's a starting tight end, I believe, right?
Yes.
So he's kind of limited. He's day-to-day right now. And then
it's the Super Bowl. He's playing.
Their guard, Jackson Carman, was limited participation. I don't know if he's a starter or not. But and then if we go to looking at LA too, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the injured report.
Give it to me. Who are they?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them were full participation. Grant Haley, cornerback. Tyler Higbee, tight end. Cam Akers, running back, was limited. Tyler Higbee did not participate at all, and Grant, that was a full participation. Jaylen Ramsey, but he's full participation. Tyler Rapp, safety, full. Andrew Whitworth, tackle, full. Van Jefferson, wide receiver, limited. Joe Noteboom, tackle, did not participate. And then Christian Roseboom, left linebacker, full participation. So
those are some big. There are some big names. Maybe not household names. The tackle is a big one.
Jalen Ramsey's huge.
Jalen Ramsey's huge.
Andrew Whitworth. Yeah,
Higbee,
that's a big one too.
Higbee's a big one. Stafford. Watching him in Detroit, really likes tight ends.
So he's been sitting. So I don't know what that means.
I can't remember his name, but the guy who stepped in for Higbee played excellent for the Rams. I think the Rams tight ends are going to be pretty open. You have to deal with OBJ and Cooper Kupp, you're gonna have your tight end's gonna have the field wide open for him. So, a guy like Higbee is not a all-star tight end we talk about week in and week out, but in this offense with Stafford proven to love his tight ends, he's gonna get some usage. Whoever's there, I prefer to have Higbee, the trusted source, but. With that said,
the one thing we didn't see on this injury report, we didn't see anything about COVID. I'm bringing that up.
Yeah, we can't have a show without it.
Ain't a single person sick.
And a single person. No symptoms, no nothing.
We've seen very limited amounts in the playoffs, isn't that kind of?
That's crazy, ain't it? Crazy. How it just disappears.
Must be all feeling better around, I guess.
It just disappears. Just straight up disappears. Right? It's not here no more. Now with that,
we'll leave it at that, right?
Yeah. With that said, I'm gonna say this. I'll give my speech on why the Rams are gonna win, and confidently. But if the Bengals happen to pull a Joe Burrow miracle, I wouldn't be upset. I like Joe Burrow. I think he's a good guy. I really like his little comment about Instagram. And I want to see you working out on Instagram for 40 seconds, right. And then you go sit down for the rest of the day. Let it show on the field. I love that attitude. I love the big old cigar and that. I'm as a cocky guy, we usually hate other cocky people, but he's got that swag about him, and I like it.
Right
now, on the other side of the field is my boy Stafford. This is going to complete his fairy tale story here. To me, he reminds me of the situation Brady went into, and I'm pumping the brakes. It's not a Brady situation.
No, Brady again. Here we go.
It's not
I can't
Brady.
believe you mentioned it in the same breath.
It's not Brady, but I think Stafford is a first bout Hall of Famer. Yes, I'm saying it. First bout Hall of Famer, holds too many records to not be. He's going to get a Super Bowl here. First time he leaves Detroit, goes and gets a Super Bowl. He just elevates other people.
Wait. You think he's getting a Super Bowl? You're just giving it to him that easily?
Oh, I know he is. He's getting it. This is his celebration this Sunday. We will be celebrating Matthew Stafford.
Sure.
We all know it. Deep down, you're rooting for Stafford too. It's cool.
Oh yeah. 100%. Him and Cooper Kupp, and that's it. Everybody else can go fly a kite. But
yeah. But yeah, I'm confident. And I'm going to give a couple brief points. The biggest reason, and this is why the Rams are going to win, has nothing to do with the Rams' offense. It has everything to do with their defense. Cincinnati, I get people could sit there and say, oh, Joe Burrow was hit like 20 times against the Titans, and they still won. The Titans' offense was not the Rams' offense. The Titans' defense wasn't the Rams' defense.
Yeah, you have that Tannehill.
He is going to be on his butt a lot, and I think, I don't even think this game's going to honestly be close. I don't. I hope it is, because I like Stafford's the comeback kid, and even if the Cincinnati Bengals make this a good game, and it's close. Captain Clutch here.
Going to be close.
He already retired the GOAT. He put the GOAT into retirement, sent him back into the old people's home. Now he's getting himself a ring, which leads me to my second point, which is the Rams offense. The Rams offense is just, when you have a Cooper Kupp, you have OBJ. This was the perfect, I said this week in and week out, this is the perfect situation for OBJ. And he better take a hometown cut. You get to go stay in LA. He loves it out there anyway. You don't got to be the number one. Now, granted, you're going to get number two money probably, but you better, I'm telling you, take the pay cut. Take the pay cut to enjoy and maybe get another ring. Otherwise, he's going to go to a team that's got like cap issues, which, spoiler alert, today's episode, we're talking salary cap. Guess that's a good segue going into it.
Hold on. No, wait. Slow the roll. I had a text for a car ride from my son here. I got to make sure I don't have to go pick him up. No, I don't, so that's good.
Oh, we got time to
wait. Yeah, slow your roll for a minute. Don't be jumping up over there like that. I got to get into this a little bit. So you're telling me you think their offense is that much better than Cincinnati's, that they're just going to blow them out when they barely beat 49ers and their offense is pitiful?
All right. Here's
20
why.
to 17.
Here's why.
Come on now.
The 49ers have a run game that's spectacular. Joe Mixon averages 4 yards a carry, which is a respectable 4 yards a carry. But he can't run the ball like the 49ers could. The 49ers can run the ball up and down the field. It's their bread and butter. The 49ers are a physical team. It's what they do. They know how to pop you in the mouth.
Chiefs, then? What about the Chiefs? They're just not any good? Are they just a bunch of Mahomes, like you say?
The Chiefs don't have a defense.
Doesn't matter.
Their offense didn't have a defense.
Great. How come their offense only scored 24 and Bengals scored 27?
Because the defense couldn't stop them.
But their offense is good.
Listen, we could talk about Mahomes. Have I been on the Mahomes bandwagon at all this year? Have I been on the Mahomes bandwagon at all this year?
Get out of here. You're already. Oh my gosh, this is already getting. I can't wait to see. See, now it makes me want to cheer for the Bengals even more. And I hope to goodness they win. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm going to be eating.
You think this hat's bedazzled now? Just wait. You just wait.
All right. Get into your next time. What are we talking about?
All right. Next up, we are straight up talking. Let's pop it up here. Let me get rid of this image in the back. You know, this self-run show here.
What is this?
Self-run show here. Today we're talking salary cap. We're talking next year. We're putting the Super Bowl on hold. We're talking salary cap. This is big time news. This is what we want to get into next year. We want to know where teams are sitting. Who's where, who's what, who's got what, who needs to do a lot of work. Do you want to start from the top down or bottomed up? I think we talked about that last. I can't remember what we said we were going to do. I'm going to make the executive call. We're going to start with the people with the most money.
Okay.
All right. First off, we have up at the top here, we have, and by the way, this is overthecap.com. Great resource to use here. It looks like it was updated as of today.
Yeah, I saw the Saints won a little bit more.
Yeah, it got a little worse.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about cap space and not effective cap space. Effective cap space is once you account for all 51, you have to have 51 minimal players signed. So if a team, maybe like the Dolphins, they have $63 million in cap space, but that doesn't account. They need to have 51 players, so they average out the players they have on contract, like that are due, and they may add a player in there. So that's effective cap
now, is
space.
that base salary cap? Oh, that's the one that's what it's going to.
That's their salary cap right now, but the effective salary cap is signing 51 players.
No, what I'm saying, the base salary cap itself is $208,200,000.
Oh yes. That's
the
salary
one, the
cap
new one
is
coming up.
Yes, is projected to go to 208 million.
I think we need to pay attention too on this one on the far right side, the dead money.
Dead money. Yes, we will.
That can make a big difference, and the Dolphins are sitting really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I always tell people, an organization, you're going to have dead money. You're always going to have dead money because you got to make moves. Sometimes people have guaranteed money, and you might have a player that's making $10 million, but if you cut them, you save $6 million. So you have $4 million, hit in dead money, but you save $6 million for the year. It's going to happen, but it's important to note. We're going to go right into it with teams. Right now, we're going to talk about the Miami Dolphins, $63 million cap space with 56 effective, 45 players signed, and only 1.6 mil in dead money. Pretty good there.
Yeah.
Now, here's the questions I have is, one, what's your roster look like right now? Are you paying for a QB is another question I have, in which we're going to get into a team here in a minute, which I've said this before, that there's the fairy tale dreamland, and I'm just going to spoil it. It's the Bengals, where you're not paying your QB a lot of money, so you have a lot of money, and you can spend it on players. That's why I think the Bengals' future is going to be really good. But we're going to fall into some other teams that are paying their QB a lot of money and are in a lot of trouble where they can't sign more players, which means you got to start letting talent go. Dolphins don't fit that category, either of those categories at the moment.
I mean, Dolphins are 9-8 this year, so I mean they're sitting.
Do you believe in Tua?
Okay, area.
Do you believe in Tua? That's the real question.
I do.
The GM clearly does. He fired the head coach over this.
Yeah, I think he's a good quarterback. I mean, I saw a lot of good in college, and he ran in the Alabama offense, which is an NFL style offense. I think they just need a couple more pieces around him. I think, shoring up that offensive line. I'm huge proponent when it comes to offense and defensive lines. I think those are what wins championships. We saw that with even with Tom Brady. As good as he is, we know he's old. We get it. But his offensive line could not help him in some scenarios, and it really hurt that team. I think having a great sound, they need to spend some money. They got a lot of money to spend. They need to spend some money on offensive line. I think that needs to be their biggest priority right now.
Yeah, we could poke some holes in the Dolphins. I think this team. I personally don't believe in Tua, but I mean, anyone can prove me wrong. If Tua works out, this team's in a pretty good hot zone. Definitely needs some more pieces. You got a good wide receiver in Waddle. You got a good tight end in Gageki. Defensive wise, they got a couple pieces there. Definitely should add some more. Miami, by the way, Florida is a good destination for a team. No state tax. This is a great place. I mean, this is a good place to go. It's a quality destination. This is where players would want to go. This isn't like a Chicago or Detroit where you're going to be paying state tax and city tax.
You also have to remember too, they're 9-8. Not many people, I don't think, expect them to even be that decent this year, with a lot of changes, a lot of things going on. Their biggest contract is to Byron Jones, for $14 million. So that's, I mean, they have two people that are over 10 mil. That's it.
Yeah,
in contracts.
I'm highly impressed with this.
So they got a lot of potential. This team's got a lot of potential.
Now, there's some very serious questions. Number one, you got a new coach coming in. You just got rid of a good coach in Brian Flores.
Right.
Good coach. Right. There's very clearly some GM issues. We talked about this when it came to Houston. When Houston was having GM, coaching, player personnel, big problems within the front offices, and this could be Miami. I mean, we're coming up to our next one here, Jacksonville, which we'll take that into a segue to start talking about Jacksonville. Jacksonville, $59 million cap space, 47 effective. 47 effective. 48 players signed.
You see their
dead money in $17 million. Lucky for them, they have a lot of money to spend. Trevor Lawrence is their young QB, not making those huge dollars yet. This goes into that spending of, hey, you're not spending a lot on your QB. Go get the people you need. If he's your guy, which he's supposed to be like the second coming of Brett Favre here. He's supposed to be the second coming of Joe Montana.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think the Brett Favre was more accurate. But yeah, he's supposed to be this all-around good guy. You start spending the money, start making the move, because this is the time you need to do it. Again, Florida, great destination, lots of money. I see a lot more problems with this team. Boom, you got a new head coach you got to bring in. You got a new head coach for the year. You have a terrible culture from last year. You have to fix and turn around really quick. And to me, I can't name many quality high-end players on this team. I'm sure there are some great quality players, but I can't name high-end ones.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at contracts, you got Shaquille Griffin is your highest paid guy. You got Miles Jack on the team. Rashawn Jenkins. I mean, those three are right at 10 mil or above. And Marvin Jones. Yeah, there's no. I mean, the second Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He's on that team too. But yeah, I don't know. There's not, like you said, there's not much.
This team has a
We'll
lot
see
of
what they
work to
do.
do. A lot of
Yep.
money to work with, so this is good. Next up we have the Super Bowl bound Cincinnati
Yeah.
Bengals.
Third on the list.
Third
With cap space.
for cap space at $58 million in cap space, 44.7 in effective cap, 36 players signed. A lot of big. That's a huge, lower number. But again, this averages that effective number is averaging in up to 51.
And you got 2 more
less
years.
than $1 million, only 736,000 in dead money. That's
huge.
impressive.
And you got 2 more years. You're already in the Super Bowl on your second year with the quarterback, and you have 2 more years of him being. And if he's good for the next 2 or 3 years, there's gonna be a lot of dough.
And a lot of people
spent on him. So there might be some changes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people.
Is the time for this.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to, bash them for taking Chase. I was one of those people. I've been saying it all year long. That Chase was the guy to get. They have that built-in chemistry together. College roommates. You don't just you don't build that overnight.
No.
Now you're going in to the next year. If they don't win the Super Bowl here, guess what? They're my favorites to go make it again because you have a lot of money to go spend to get more players, better players to fit in, fill those holes. And if you look at their dead money, this is whoever's their GM is, give them a pat on the back, give them some high fives, more money. It's highly impressive to go like that, but this is your window because here's the thing: Joe Burrow in 2 more years, on year 3, that open cap space 58. He's probably sucking up 30 more mil, at least, at least. And Chase is the year after that. He's probably sucking up 20 more mil, right? That's 50 mil. That's a lot of money. Now you're down to $8 million in open money. Now we do project that the cap will be increasing drastically the next 3 years, but we don't know those numbers yet. But this team, I'm really big on high future. They're going to spend some money, get some more pieces, whoever's available on offensive line, pick them up. Because
it shows it right here, 2024 potential of $256 million.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And we're at $208 million, and that, you know what I mean? That's insane.
I saw my last report. I saw was it was going to go to like 224, and then 250. But still, that's really high. But to me, if we were to break down the Bengals right now, if you were to put two new offensive linemen in there, all like just good solid pieces, this team would be a lot better. Mixon would probably have, give them a line that can make Mixon make those 4 yards into 5 yards, 6 yards. But that's all they need. And you got the money to do it. I'm very hopeful for this team's future. But those are the problems I see now. Why I don't think they're winning the Super Bowl. Money wise, they're looking great. Next up, we have the Chargers, $57 million cap space, 49 in dead money, or 49. I'm sorry, 49 effective cap space, 45 players signed. And again for quality GM, $314,000 in dead money. That's it. Now the question I have for the Chargers have their QB again. Young QB, not making a lot of money. You're going to see a common trend. Look at the top 4 teams they drafted. Even if we go down to the top 5 teams, the Jets being next, very young QBs, not paying them a lot. You got a lot more money.
Right.
These are the times. I talked about this when the Seahawks won with Russell Wilson. Russell, I think when he won the Super Bowl, was making like $500K because he was like, what, a 5th round pick? Like think about it. Like
it was 3rd round. But yeah.
But yeah, making like dirt to no money. They had the Legion of Doom back there, Legion of Boom, whatever. I mean, you can afford to have those guys, but Russ gets paid. Those players leave. Russ has to step up. Most teams don't do that. I mean, We can name the Eagles were a prime example. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl, people started getting paid. People started leaving. I project this for the Chiefs. I think a lot of people say, the Chiefs window, to me, in the next 2 years, and we'll get to them here in a bit, is going to be closing fast. But back to the Chargers. Chargers have their QB. Still on a rookie deal. Maybe he has 1 to 2 more years. I think this team has a little bit more concerning issues, though. I think they need they've drafted receivers well, but they all usually do pretty well. But I think they need another stud running game. You got Austin Eckler in there, good all around back. Defense, I think you got some really good guys back there. You got Joey Bosa. I'm drawing a blank on the command I'm trying to think of, but there's some pieces there. Obviously you can spend some more money. It must feel good to have this much money. My team don't got this much money.
My team's close.
Our teams are like neck and neck, man. We don't got a lot of money. Okay, we got less than half of this money.
Got plenty.
Plenty. I mean, at least
we have a lot more.
Your team's got a lot.
Money.
I would say your team has a lot of players that are good on your team. My team doesn't. We'll get into them in a bit. Let's move on to the Jets. Jets. $48 million to cap. 35 at effective. 62 players signed.
They still got a lot of issues.
62.
This team ain't gonna be good for a while. Wilson's not doing great.
1.4 in dead
a lot
money.
of questions on this team.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they have a lot of holes to fill, a lot of voids. It's
who's their receiver?
Rebuilding here. I don't know.
That's my thing. Can you name him?
I mean, I can look, but I don't even. I'm looking at the list of the contracted players. What their salaries. I don't even know what name goes with wide receivers. That's how crazy this team is. It's just they've changed so much lately.
And that's why I'm not willing to write off Zach Wilson yet. I think Zach Wilson's a prime example of a QB that needed to sit behind a veteran quarterback. We talked about that 100%. Before. We don't like to see our rookie QB starting right away. Sometimes you get an Andrew Luck. You get people that go out there and they do it and they're magical. Those are like once in a generation, in my opinion. Maybe twice or three.
Burrow's
but
right there.
Joe Burrow's up there. Got hurt.
We knew he had the potential. I knew this guy was going to come back and play good. I think a lot of people did. So it's just. And
I'm not saying they can't play well, but it could definitely make or break. And that's my worry with Trevor Lawrence. Doesn't have a veteran quarterback to sit behind, learn to be that leader in the locker room. Terrible coaching staff for him.
A lot of turmoil. Yeah, a lot of turnover in the last year.
Zach Wilson being in New York, hard place to be. I worry about that kid. I really do. But they got some money to work around them. They can do it. I'm not high in this team's future, but I'm not gonna say any team can't do it. Probably. I'm gonna say there are some teams that can't do it. We're gonna get to them because they don't have money. They owe the banks a lot of money. But I mean, $48 million is a lot of money to work with. Plenty of money to get pieces
and they got
make
it
turn around.
Quarterback, quarterback's a question for them. They may be drafting something, or looks like some potential trade of some stuff too. I don't know. There's a lot of questions.
Don't forget, this team's traded Sam Darnold away. Okay.
Well, that's the best thing they ever did. Zach Wilson.
I would say this. I think I'm not going to disagree with you because I think Sam Darnold needed out of there.
He didn't. Yeah, it didn't make him any better.
I am still high on the Sammy D.
Oh my gosh!
I am still high on the Sammy D, baby.
Wow.
Next up, we got the Broncos, Denver type. 38.8 million in cap space, 31.9 in effective cap space. 50 players signed, 6.3 million in dead money.
Yeah, that's
quite a bit. Not the most though.
When I misspoke, I thought you were talking about the Broncos earlier about the quarterback situation. This is where the quarterback situation is, and we don't know about the trading. Teddy.
Okay.
That's my fault. I thought we were talking about the Broncos, and it kind of mixed up on me. But we
I
don't
was
know.
getting a little.
Teddy's
I'm
not
like
going to be
trading
there.
Zach Wilson 1
Yeah,
year. I was like, man,
no.
you wrong, dog. You
No,
wrong.
no, that was the wrong team. But yeah, this team is a little. I'm not sure what's going to happen. You know, they didn't have a bad year. I mean, I just think quarterback's going to be an issue for them. So I don't know if they're going to be drafting or what they're going to be doing. And this draft is not the greatest drafts either for quarterbacks. So
As a Lions fan, I'm not hopeful for a QB. I mean, to me, I think there's always QBs in every draft. They're just usually you got your Russell Wilsons, your Mahomes, people that just not on the radar. Broncos, though, I'm not. This team, I'm not. You get plenty of money to work with, but QB needs work. Defense stepped it up. I think they still have pieces on offense for sure. That money's a bit of an issue.
The big trade of Von Miller, that was
getting rid of Von Miller.
And I think that I don't know if that's some of that dead money is on that from him or not. I'll have to look.
Yeah, I'm not high on this team, but 38 million, you could turn it around still. Don't worry, Broncos, you can do it. I'm really excited to get in this next team, and that's the Indianapolis Colts. My boy Wentz went there. I thought he had a pretty good season.
He did better than I thought he would do. That's for sure.
37 million in cap space, 35 in effective cap space, 54 players signed, 818K in dead money. You got a QB already in Wentz. Problem being, Colts GM came out and said no more patch jobs at quarterback, so that doesn't mean Wentz is here anymore? Question mark?
Well, his base salary goes up by almost 6 mil. 7 mil.
Like, I think Wentz is out.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think Wentz is the starting QB for the Colts.
What else are they gonna do?
I mean, hey, Rodgers, you available, buddy?
Yeah.
Remember Peyton? Peyton, you want to come out of the booth? You and Eli got that show, but we'll bring you back, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know what else they could do.
I think this team's really got a high future, though, and I think 37 million is a lot of money for this team. That really good offensive line when they're not hurt. That is a bit of a problem when you're hurt, but great offensive line. You got some good receivers. Definitely could improve, though. Defense, in my opinion, is pretty good. This is a pretty good. I mean, there was a time we were talking about this team was like a Super Bowl fave at one point.
Yeah,
and then they magically don't make the playoffs.
Right.
All right, you beat the Jags. You're in. You slipped on a banana. Yeah, I'm not worried about this team's future. I'm more worried about this team's future, like the plans the GM's going to take with this team. That's the direction I'm worried about. A bit of an overcorrection could happen. I like Wentz. My problem with Wentz is he always gets hurt. He's one of those running QBs that runs and doesn't protect himself. And you know how I feel about that. You can't do it unless you're a pocket passer. He can be a pocket passer, but he likes to run. And if you're not on the field, you're not helping my team. Next up, we're going to talk about a team that is, in my opinion, going to be hurting here soon. And I think Russ is on his way out, and that's the Seattle Seahawks. 36 million cap space. 34 in effective cap space. 51 players signed. And 1.8 million in dead money. Will increase if they trade Russ. I've had reports. There's some teams he's interested in. I've also heard that he wants out. I've heard that he doesn't want out. I don't know what to think, but I'm pretty confident that the relationship between him and Pete Carroll is stretched.
Yeah, I believe so. I think he needs somewhere else to go.
Yeah, I think he needs a fresh spot.
They're not. It's going to be hard, because he's got a lot of money on him. $19 million base salary.
That's the problem. When you look at the teams that could afford that, we're running quickly out of teams that could absorb that salary.
Well, I mean, Carson Wentz's was $21 million at a base salary, so I mean it's.
But I mean, for a trade,
Who would you
partner.
rather have?
We're talking trade.
I know, but who would you rather have?
Oh, easily Wentz, and in 19 million, that's a steal for. Or not Wentz, excuse me. No, Russell Wilson. I'm sorry. Russell Wilson, 19 million for Russell Wilson's a steal. Like that is an absolute steal. I think we're playing golf like 50 right now or 40 or something stupid. But that was part of the trade. Why we took it. We basically traded his salary for cap space, or draft capital. But the Seahawks, Russell, 19 mil steal. Absolutely, I'll take it all day. Seahawks, I'm not sure how much they'll save by doing that, but could save a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna look up. We'll get up Goff's here in a little bit, but that's just base salary of 19 mil. He had a 13 million prorated bonus. There's a regular roster bonus of 5 mil. So we're looking at 37 mil is where he was at.
Oh, see, and when you start saying 37 mil, there is very little teams that can absorb that cap space.
Right. You'd have to do some changes on that base salary for sure.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have the Washington Commanders at 31.8 mil.
Can't be saying that other name
cap
anymore.
Space. 27 ineffective. 56 players signed, and only $702K in dead money. Pretty impressive. This team, I was really high on this team last year. Fitzmagic was there. They looked good with Fitz. They looked good. This defense I felt was great. They play in a real shitty stadium that just other teams come in and their players get hurt. So I always felt like that was a home field advantage. Their offense was looking pretty decent. Then Heineke had to stop in, and we can't trust Heineke. I think this team's a QB away from making a decent run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they showed they weren't afraid to make moves with Curtis Samuel, going and getting him. I mean, they draft their defense. I mean, we got Montez Sweat. You could name like 6 players on defense that are studs.
Yeah, Chase Young, and he's still on his rookie deal. Got a lot of good defensive ends from the Ohio State out in the NFL teams. You know what I mean? I'm just pointing it out. Chargers.
Hey, my team owns you.
Commanders. Your team don't own me. Don't own nobody. Your team don't own nothing.
We own you. We got the dubs. You had to wear the Michigan shirt.
Yeah,
you were supposed to wear a jersey, but you cop out. Hey, I ain't letting you cop out next year.
Ain't happening.
Ain't letting you cop out.
Ain't happening again.
Well, when it does happen, you ain't copping out this year.
I ain't cop out. I said I would.
Yeah, that was a cop out and a half. All right, unless you got something else to talk about the Commanders. No. Moving on to the Pittsburgh Steelers, 31 million cap space.
Nobody cares about Steelers.
37.9 in effective cap. 61 players signed, and 2.5 mil in dead money. I think this is a good important team to talk about because it's the future of this team. No Big Ben. Sailed away to the sunset. Mason Rudolph, currently your starting QB.
Sorry. That's not good.
Yeah, that's probably not good. We don't know. We haven't seen him in a starting role. Maybe he comes out and he's a stud.
No.
If he is, if he comes out and he's the starter and he's a stud, 31 million looks like a lot of money. You got some good pieces on offense out there. Their problem was Big Ben couldn't move the ball. Their defense, TJ Watt looked amazing. That defense looked good. They just couldn't move the ball.
Ain't moving nothing. He is not the answer for this team.
Well, if he's not, then they're in trouble. 31 mil in need of a QB. I mean, it's not unreasonable with 31 mil to go get a veteran QB that's promising to fight, compete with Mason Rudolph. Maybe you spend 11 million and you go get a decent QB to compete. You know, you get maybe Sam Darnold's off.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Wentz is on the market. Let's say Wentz is on the market. Spend $11 million, bring Wentz in. Competes with Mason Rudolph. Wentz probably definitely easy wins that, but maybe you bring, like, let's say Sam Darnold out there. You bring a Sam Darnold, compete with him.
Well, there's another. Who's the other quarterback on that team? There was other talks about someone else that would compete with Mason Rudolph on this.
Well, if they already have a guy to compete, then you got a little bit more money
I know
to
who
spend.
it is.
But
It's another, the Ohio State boy.
Oh yeah, those
Who
are
the
crappy
heck
players.
Is he? Hey!
Well, this is a crappy player. That's a crappy team. We own you.
Oh, you don't. You won one game on us in 10 years. So shut up.
The start of our streak, baby.
Okay, let's start a no streak.
No, Jim Harbaugh chose to stay,
I
babe.
can't remember his name. What is his name?
I don't know. We're moving on now.
Go ahead.
We got a lot of other teams to go to.
I'm going to look it up. Yeah, keep going.
We got the Chicago Bears, Dub Bears. Dub Bears with $28 million cap space, 24 effective, 48 players signed, and $3.2 million in dead money. They have their QB of the future here, Justin Fields, from We Own You, Ohio State.
No.
I'm not sold on Fields yet. I feel like he really should have sat behind, but a year under his belt, probably can do a lot more this year. They have some big, deep concerns this year.
Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah, you are not selling me on Dwayne Haskins on his third team. I will take Mason.
What?
All day.
No, not even close.
College QBs don't result to pro all the time.
I don't care. He's not on his third team. He's on his second team, for your information. So get your facts straight. And he was a good quarterback.
Fake news. Get out of here. We're on the Bears. I'm over him. The Bears. You got your Justin Fields here. How do you feel? $28 million. Khalil Mack on the team.
I think he's a definitely.
Allen Robinson not probably playing.
Need some more weapons around him. Offensive line gonna be a broken record, but I think that was the biggest thing for him. He was running for his life all season long.
Mm-hmm.
He needs some help. So, offensive line, a couple more weapons. That is going to be good for him. Just like Dwayne Haskins and the Steelers.
I do not agree. No way. Nope. Next up, we have the paper bag. I had my uniform over here. I don't know where my paper bag went. And we had the Browns.
Oh,
$24 million effective cap. Yeah. Or excuse me, 24 in cap space, 20 million effective cap, 48 players signed.
Good.
3 point. Good. Oh, excuse me. Only 205K in dead money. That's hot sauce.
I think
baby.
You're probably not going to see Jarvis Landry on the team, and he's sitting pretty high at 16 mil. You got Baker at 18 base salary.
Here's what I say. If I'm the Browns GM right now, here's what we're doing. We're cutting Jarvis. We're saving ourselves a lot of money. We are pushing for whatever receivers out there that Baker wants.
Yeah.
To make sure he's the guy. If he doesn't do it this year, with some weapons around him,
it's gonna be bad.
They already, and I don't blame them for the OBJ thing. I don't. But I'll tell you right now, OBJ in the Super Bowl, looking as good as he is not a good look for the Browns. In the Browns' defense, OBJ, in my opinion, is no longer a number one receiver.
Yeah, but
he is too much of a drama queen. He is. No, here's the thing. He is a Chad Ochocinco. He's a Terrell Owens. Okay, he is an amazing receiver. His mouth gets the best of him. You know how a defensive back defends him? They get in his head, and it's real easy to do that. Now you think a number 2 DB is going to get into his head that much? Probably not. He's probably going to beat the number 2 guy, which he could do in LA. Sean McVay is going to write up some great plays for OBJ because they're going to be worried about OBJ, but they're mostly going to be worried about Kupp, Higbee. Stafford's just cannon of an arm. He'll even hit the opponent in the chest so hard they'll drop the ball.
Are you on the Browns here? What are you talking about?
Oh, we're on the Browns. We're talking
Doesn't sound
about.
like the Browns.
I'm defending them. I'm also, ramping up my Rams.
No, you
But
are.
it's not the Browns' fault.
Get to the Rams.
It's not the Browns' fault, is what I'm
No,
saying.
the Browns needed to get rid of him. He was a cancer.
What did I say at the beginning of the year? What did I say? But what did I say at the very beginning of the year? That the Browns should trade OBJ because he doesn't fit the scheme. I said it since day one of our show.
Well, he's gone.
I have said this. Yeah, and I'm proven right yet again. Yet again. My point is proven. He needed to be gone. Now, the Browns got some work to do. This is a passion team for you. I a passion team for myself.
Yeah.
The Browns got some work, but the $24 million, even if you don't get rid of Landry, that's some good money. Your defense has got some good, very good pieces. Your offense needs some work. You need some receivers. You got a couple tight ends in there.
We need to look at maybe somebody on the line, replace one or two there. We've had some inconsistencies. We've had some injuries this year. Defensive line, I think there's some questions there about. You
got two stud running backs.
If Kareem Hunt can stay healthy. If he's healthy,
I mean, both of them can stay healthy. And then Johnson stepped in great. I think this team is stacked on running back. They're good there. They could probably even trade a running back. It'd be fine.
That would be.
But my thing is, I think number one, receiver, biggest need.
Oh, that they need
number
to draft.
Two,
that
lineman.
Needs to be their number one overall. Yeah, 100%.
Receiver,
and then
secondary.
Secondary needs to be looked at too. I think that we had a lot of issues on our secondary, whether it's safety, whether it's a couple guys been injured on and off throughout the year. We had Ward on one side doing everything, and he has injuries once in a while.
How many first-round picks do the Browns have on their defense? I think the last I looked were like 5 or 6.
Yeah,
that team is a stud defense. Like, no offense, you could get a veteran corner in free agency, but you need receivers and alignment. And then we need to go to the backfield there, the defensive backfield, and start moving that up. Going from your passionate team to my very passionate team for myself, my Detroit Lions. Now we went from you having $24 million and saying that's a pretty good amount of money. So now I'm gonna go hit the panic button. The pure panic mode. $23 million for my Detroit Lions in cap space. Only 11 in effective cap. 48 players signed. $8.1 million in dead money. Second highest we have so far on our list. But yeah, here's why this is a panic for Detroit. They don't have the need for quarterback is desperate.
Mm-hmm.
You have a quarterback. Do you have the number right now? How much is Goff making?
I haven't pulled it up yet, but give me 1 second here.
Well, you have Goff.
Jared Goff's on top. He's at $31 million cap. Base salary is $10 million. He had a couple bonuses high, so yeah, his guaranteed salary is $15.5 million. I mean, he's at $31 million for the cap number.
He is a huge hit.
That's huge.
I mean, if you took his cap salary off, we're like in the top 5 in open money. And I'd be very happy, go get a veteran quarterback for 10, 20 mil, 1-year deal, get a guy in there. Goff, too much money for a guy that's not the answer. He had flashes where he looked real good. But he's not it. I'm high on the Lions' ability to draft. St. Brown looked amazing. At the end of the year, looks great.
Trey Flowers. How was Trey Flowers for you guys? Because he's getting paid quite a bit. He's at $23 million.
Yeah, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
some of the other players. Then you got your left tackle, Taylor Decker.
Best left tackle in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's at $19 million. So, I mean, yeah, you got to keep. That's where you want to put your money at.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the Lions have so many needs, though, in my opinion. I mean, you have T.J. Hawkinson, in my opinion, top 5 tight end.
another, Romeo Okoro.
Okura.
Mm-hmm. He's up high too at 15 mil.
He was one of our
2 edge
solid
rushers
pieces
that are high up there. Yeah.
But here's the problem: is Detroit's not. This is not a destination like a Miami. Detroit. You're paying state tax, and guess what? You work in Detroit, you pay Detroit tax. This is not a place you want to go to play. This is, I love Detroit. I really do. This is my home team. But it's hard to bring people in. It really is. This is not the destination people want to play. So it's gonna be hard for them. I mean, look at Stafford. Played here for 13 years. First opportunity to leave. Now he's going to a Super Bowl. Granted, he went to a great situation to a great team, but that team was willing to put the pieces around him. Now, willing to do everything they could to make it work. Detroit had opportunities and certainly had some great seasons and put the pieces around him. No better combination than Matthew Stafford and Megatron. I mean, debatable Cooper Kupp breaking some records. We'll see next year how that goes, that magic. But $23 million, I'm panicking. We got some deep holes. Deep holes. Swift looks good at running back, but I would like to see another lineman in there. We definitely need defense. Our draft class in cornerbacks has been pretty terrible. We took Jeff Okudah. I believe he was an Ohio State guy as well. It's been looking pretty trashy lately.
Yep.
Needs to step up.
Oh.
I'm not impressed with him at all. So we have a lot of needs in big places, and 24 mil does not feel like the hole or fit we're gonna be making it in. And we have a massive need at quarterback. So I have deep concerns, and I don't see it there. Now let's move on away from them to a team that's got a brighter future than they did a few years ago. That's Philadelphia Eagles. 21 million cap space. 12 million effective. 66 players signed. It's a good number. Good number to have. Above 53 always feels good. But 22 million in dead money. Whoa, 22 million in dead money.
19 of that is on Lane John. No, I don't know exactly where that dead money is showing or how to show it. Oh, some of it's on him. Yeah, it is a lot on Lane Johnson, I think.
Either way, that's a ton of dead money. I mean, if you take your dead money and add it to your cap space, you're looking at 41 million or 43 million. You're right. You're above the Broncos at number 6 in free money. Poor GMing, in my opinion, but I get these things do happen. I mean, I'm going to say poor GMing, but we're going to get to some teams with poor GMing. So I think I'm being a little harsh.
Mm-hmm.
Very bright future for this team. They got Jalen Hurts as their starting QB. Mm-hmm. I'm not high on him personally, but they are. Mm-hmm. It's not up to me.
Right.
So that means if they feel he's the guy, they drafted a wide receiver that fits well with him. Running back, I guess we could. I mean, I don't think Miles Sanders is the answer anymore. Defense looks pretty decent still. So I think 21 million for this team's a good amount of money. You got your QB that you feel is the guy, and you can go fill in those spots. So I'm not too terrible on this team. What about yourself?
No, I think they have potential as a good team. Like you said, I'm not high on Hurts. There's a lot of ups and downs this year. But I think there's some good players around him, like Devontae Smith. I haven't seen him come out of his shell and really play well as much as we've seen him play at Alabama. But I think he has a lot of potential to do pretty well, and I think that next year might be his, breakout year for these two. But you got Hurts, that's not really a huge pocket passer type of quarterback. He's going to do a lot more running and stuff. So that is going to hurt your. I think you see that hurt your wide receiver core when you have that running back that quarterback that likes to run a lot.
For sure, we've seen that with the Ravens.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, big time. And so yeah, I think it's good team. I like this team. I think they have a lot of potential to do pretty well. I still like to see some more of the Gardner Minshew. You know what I mean?
Oh, we loved Minshew. Man, Minshew. Oh,
after watching that video with his dad, that pumped me up. I think he has.
I would love to see Minshew in Detroit. I would love to see Minshew in Detroit.
I think he has a better.
Bring him in, baby. Bring him in.
100%. Right. So we'll see. I mean,
bring him in, Spielman.
They still got a lot of good players, good pieces around. So we'll see what they do in the offseason to really make a step.
All right, next up, we're going to move these next couple. We're going to move pretty quickly through. We have the Las Vegas Raiders at $20 million, $16 million in effective, $50 signed, $9 million in dead. This team losing their head coach, controversial. Lost their GM too, did they not?
Yes.
Yes. They lost their GM too.
Both got fired. Yeah.
I'm actually really concerned for this team.
Mm-hmm.
They have not. Last year's draft was pretty terrible, but when it came down to like the late round picks, were great. And I think that was Mike Mayock right there, all him.
Mm-hmm.
I think this team's on a downward spiral. Personally, time will tell. We're gonna move right into the Texans. 17 mil in cap space, 4.9 in effective, 45 players signed, 35 million in dead.
Is that
money?
Because of?
I would assume it's Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Watson.
I'm sure they free up some money by trading him, but I don't think there's we talk a cap space.
Cap number was 40 mil for Deshaun Watson.
The top 5 teams already have their QB. Who's trading for Watson? There's not many suitors.
I wouldn't.
Miami was your number one suitor, and that's what it. I mean, Miami could do it. Miami's to me the only team that could do it. But the Texans asking price, they want like 3 first round. Get out of here. You will be happy and lucky to get 1 first.
Right.
1.
Yeah, they might actually lose out on getting anything.
And that
if they wait any longer.
I think he will be traded during or before the draft. But if he is, it's got to be to Miami. There's not many other teams that can afford that cap space.
Or that want to even take it on. Yeah, I think it's just.
And we talked about once you take a player at that caliber, he has to fill in those shoes. And I think Deshaun Watson can. I really do think he can. I think he's a very talented player.
I'm worried more for him as personal, individual.
Absolutely.
I hope he's getting the help he needs. Hopefully, it figures out what's going on, and this comes out to be not as whatever it is. I feel bad for both sides of the parties because there's multiple on this situation. So we're seeing it too often, and it's being highlighted more because he is, in the entertainment industry. So hopefully you can figure that out. I love seeing him play. Man, it was fun to watch him play.
And ultimately,
he was dynamic. So.
I think we can both agree. We just want what we want is the truth to prevail. Whatever it is, if the truth comes out one way or the other, we hope the punishment is swift, or if exonerated kind of thing. We hope he gets his life back.
Right.
Either way, we hope just for the truth. We don't want what we feel. We want truth.
I want him to as an individual, not to be stuck in this scenario. To be whatever it is we're trying to say. It's not all about football. In this time as well. So, hopefully, he's getting the help he needs. If this is all true of what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up, we have the Panthers, $17 million in free money. in cap space. 11 ineffective. 56 players signed. Good number. $7 million in dead money. To me, I know you're not high on Sammy D. I love Sammy D.
If they wanted some more cap space, drop that sack. Because listen, he's not worth it. I'm telling you, it's not worth to have him.
Me and Duck feel completely different on the. How much they paying him? How much you paying him?
Too much.
How much?
18 mil, almost 19 mil.
I'll take him in Detroit for that all day over Jerry G.
Then you're gonna be in the same gutter you have been for the past years. There's no change.
I'll take him.
This guy, I'm telling you,
we are gonna have to agree to disagree. Next year, when I'm taking the Panthers and winning games,
he's a career backup. That's all he'll ever be starting next year.
You might be right, personally. He could be a career backup. But, I'm high on him. That's just me. I like him. He was leading the league in rushing touchdowns for a while. I like him. I just do. Next up, we have the Chiefs. This is a team we'll talk a little bit more in depth about. 14 mil in cap space.
You passed up the Ravens and the Patriots there, bud.
No, are you not looking at my list? Look on the screen here, buddy.
Well, I'm on the same one. Maybe mine's more updated than yours is, actually.
No, isn't it?
Yeah, because some of them you were saying you had like 46, but I had 47, so it's all right.
We're going overthecap.com, salary cap space.
Yeah, I have the same one, but mine's pulled up and more updated than yours is. That's all. We're good.
Don't you? My information is the information. At this moment in time, there's no questioning my information. It is accurate, up to the date, according to overthecap.com. If overthecap.com's wrong, that's on them. Right now, it's all legit. So
I got the same
Chiefs. The Chiefs. Refresh. Look at this. Wow, I refreshed and we moved some teams here. This is crazy. What the fuck? Over the cap? This is up to date. See, look, we got up to date information right now. Up to date. You're gonna have to go back. Look, I'll go back up. Pause the video. Pause the video on if I misspoke on your team earlier.
Over again.
I'm not starting. They can pause. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you go to the website yourself, pause it, look at it as it goes. We just got bamboozled on up-to-date information. So instead of going to the Chiefs, which is even worse for them now, we now go to the Ravens at $8.7 million, 3.6 in effective, 53 players signed, and less than $1 million in debt. This team has their QB. They're not paying them too much yet. That's my problem.
Oh, they're paying him $23 million.
Okay, so he's getting paid a bit.
That's his guaranteed salary right now. So,
all right,
that was his last contract. That's the 2022 contract right now. It's guaranteed $23 million this year. That's why it went up. It went up 20 mil from last year to this year. So that's why they're that.
That's the 5th year option. Sounds like it.
Yeah.
But I mean, this makes it. I mean, you have your QB. This is your final, because you're telling me Lamar Jackson's only getting paid 23 after this coming up year.
Depends on how he plays this next year.
I agree. I 100% agree.
A lot of
I 100% agree. But I think
you're going to see some other guys pop up. Mark Andrews had a good year.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end. You're going to see that contract go up. I don't know if he. For him, he's got lots more. He's good. Never mind. He ain't going up because he's still got another 4 years before his goes up. Yeah. So,
but I mean, this team still has plenty of holes.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of holes. We can pick them apart. I'm not sold on Lamar Jackson, and guess what? If you're not sold, I think my problem with Lamar Jackson, he's the team. He's got to stop being the only guy who can win the game.
Well, it hurt them losing the two good running backs at the beginning of the year.
Oh, I agree. I 100% agree.
J.K. Dobbins out for the season.
Well, the problem is we don't know how they were. We don't know if they were the guys or going to be good. That's our problem too. Is we don't know, and not knowing hurts sometimes more.
He's an Ohio State boy. I mean, we're doing pretty good for Ohio
bias
State.
alert. Bias alert.
Come on. This kid can run over anybody.
Yeah, I'm not too high. But we'll quickly move on here to the Patriots at 8.1 million in free money, 4.8 in effective cap, 58 players signed, 3.1 million in dead money. Got a young QB in Mac Jones. $8 million. I will say this: when you have a young QB and you're not paying him much, and you only have $8 million, that means you did a lot of signing. Last year they did a lot of free agent signing. I think this team's fine with $8 million. You know, I think they're gonna cut some people for sure. They're gonna save some money. It's the Patriot way. They're gonna find some money. They're gonna cut some big contracts, move on from some people, make some more moves. I'm sure they're not gonna sign anybody. The Patriots just find a way to win. Testament to their head coach. Testament to their front office. You know, I'm not worried about the Patriots. I'm really not. I could criticize them. Yeah, I could criticize them all I want. I'm just some schmo on YouTube. They don't care about me. They will find a way. Now, a team that I am more concerned about is Kansas City Chiefs. Can you pull up that Mahomes contract for me? $4.2 million in cap space. So they've been down within seconds, within an hour of our show. They've gone down.
Yeah, with Patrick Mahomes' cap numbers at 35, almost 36 mil.
1.2 effective cap, 51 players signed, only 2.3 million dead. But here's the problem. We just talked about that cap number for Mahomes. It's only going up as the years go on. He just signed that big contract. That contract goes up every year, more and more. They're going to have to restructure it within 2 to 3 years. They got a lot. The offensive line still looked atrocious. They did make a couple moves to make it a little better, and it was a little better. But still, Mahomes under duress doesn't look good. I think a big problem is Mahomes needs to... I know, Mahomes, bring me the heat. Bring me the heat. I'll take the heat. I think he's a good quarterback. But I think he's still got more to prove. I think he's a first bout Hall of Famer if he can get his mechanical issues under control. If he can stop doing... he's never going to stop this sidearm thing. He's got... I'm going to call it the baseball throw. Stafford. My boy Stafford does it. But I think he relies on it too much. Way too much. And I think it's gotten him in trouble. And Kansas City has cut corners to pay for Mahomes on their defense, which was even more atrocious this year. And that's where I think their biggest needs are. And we're talking $4 million? Who you signing? Who you signing for $4 million to make your defense better? Who?
Well, they already got, I think, was it Chris Jones?
Chris Jones is a great player.
Yep, he's got $30 million on his contract.
But I mean,
Clark, 26. You got Tyreek Hill at almost 21. Joe Thuney.
That was their big line pickup that I talked about at the beginning of the year. They needed to adjust their line, and they got Joe Thuney.
Anthony Hitchens at 12 mil. Travis Kelce is only at 8.8 mil.
This team will be making this. Trust me, the Chiefs are going to have to make some cuts to free up some space, because our player, just like every team has players that are making way too much money that they ain't worth. Jared Goff, prime example, they ain't worth the money being paid. But sometimes you got that guarantee money, you can't drop that man. It's better to let him play. I think the Chiefs are still going to be highly competitive. I think they are still a great team. I'm being very critical on them. I'm talking like to be a Super Bowl favorite, in my opinion, they need more money. I still think that Mahomes, calm down. They're still going to be competitive. They're going to be in the playoffs. They'll be competing. Don't worry. 2 years from now, a year from now, you might be the next Seahawks, in my opinion, where I'm saying you're not going to go 500. Test me. You never know. This offseason might bring it out of me. You never know. Depending on the moves they make, I might say next year, but I'm not willing to say that yet. I am not willing to say that. I got too much talent on this team for me to say that for this upcoming year. All right, going on to the next team. And to me, I full in my heart's to heart believe this is why Brady retired this year. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have $3 million in cap space. $89,000 in effective cap space, with 52 players signed and only $164K in dead money. They got like no money, and they don't have a QB at the moment. Chris Godwin doesn't have a. He's not. He tagged this year. He's probably gone, right? This team is hurting. This team is in trouble. And this goes to my example of when you win a Super Bowl, you got to start paying some people. Shaq Barrett got paid. People on his offensive line got paid. People got paid. Chris Evans already got paid. Who's going to fill in the spot? This is where that glory phase of winning.
Mike Evans.
What I say?
Mike Evans is Chris Evans. Mike Evans is getting paid more than Tom Brady right now. So,
yeah, this team is off the cliff in my opinion. They ain't gonna be competing. Deep holes. They drafted a QB last year. Maybe if he comes and fills it in, $3 million still ain't enough money. They're hurting. To me, they're gonna have to make some cuts, and they're not even under the cap. Life without Brady.
Yeah,
they ain't the Patriots.
Already a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
It's showing him as a free agent, and so they have some dead money with that.
They will be hurting.
Yep.
I think they're good luck, Bucks. Next up, this is the start of our trend in dead money, negative cap space. The Arizona Cardinals at $813K in cap space, negative cap space. We're just going to round $800K in negative cap space. Effective cap space is negative $3.8 million with 53 players signed. Dead money, they have only $400K. Cardinals, you got your QB. If you could bring up his number real quick, how much Kyler Murray's getting paid?
I mean, it's still.
I want to say he's still in his rookie deal, but I think this has a lot more to do with the high-end veterans they went and got to try and make this year was supposed to be the year for Kyler Murray that he stepped up.
Yeah, it's in the last year of his rookie deal. So
in all reports, it sounds like they want to move on from Kyler Murray. The reports I'm reading is that they want to move on from him. Head coach,
he's an unrestricted free agent right now.
As of right now.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, I don't think they're.
Sorry, excuse me. I take that back. 2023, he'll be unrestricted free agent.
I was gonna say I was pretty sure they wanted to trade him. So going back, yeah, I think they do want to trade him. I think they want to find a partner. They want to move on. I get, Cliff Kingsbury. That's his college QB. They have great chemistry. I think Kyler Murray can be a great QB. To me, he's like a prototype Russ. He's a Doug Flutie. He's that short QB. He's a Drew Brees in many aspects. Not as accurate as Drew Brees. I'm not going to go that far. But he takes those deep drops. To me, he is great running the ball. He does the right things I like from a QB that can run the ball. He slides, goes out of bounds, does not take the hits. Did get injured this year. Still, he could throw the ball up there. I'm not going to say top 5, top 10, top 15 for sure. I'd love to have him in Detroit. I'm not sure what his cap hit is right now, but I think the Cardinals want to move on. I think they're in a rebuild mode, which is very unfortunate because they went all in this year. And, I mean, they could still go all in for next year if they believe in Kyler. And maybe that's what they do is they trim some money, get rid of some higher, overpaid players that they can make some room, and make that run again. And I do believe this team can do it. I mean, they are in a very competitive division. You got the Rams, you got the Cardinals, you got the Seahawks, you got the 49ers. That's a very competitive division. You got to keep it churning, and I think they should. We'll see if that's what they do as the year, as postseason goes on, and we're talking about it. Because guess what? We're still here. We'll still be doing shows year round. Next up, we have the 49ers. I think this is the one team where I think that has they're 4.4 million negative cap space, 10 million effective in the negative, and 3.9 in dead money. This is a team I think can make money to get back up there, and reports are that they're moving on from Jimmy G. Jimmy G's made signs that he knows he's getting moved, and he sounds like he almost wants to as well. That saves them a good chunk of money right there.
27 million right there in his contract.
So I mean, if they do that, I think they're in pretty good shape. If Trey Lance could be the guy and you got that money, this team looks, if Trey Lance can play at a decent level, this team's going to be right back in there and being competitive. This team's right there. I believe in their coach.
He's got one more year in his contract, guaranteed. There's no guarantee in this year, so
and see with that, I fully believe they're moving on from him. I do not think Jimmy G is a 49er before the draft. I don't.
Man,
especially being under that cap. Or excuse me, over the cap.
Can we say man crush on this dude?
On who?
He's one good-looking quarterback. Jimmy G.
Oh, Jimmy G, absolutely. Come on.
Oh my god.
Can we bring him to Detroit? I just want to look at him. Getting me hot and heavy, baby.
Wow.
Woo!
No, just kidding. But no, I'd be curious to see where he goes. He had such a good year in New England when he stepped in, I think it's taken him a lot longer to get back from that injury.
Which, by the way, Bill Belichick was furious when they traded Jimmy G.
You mentioned that before.
Furious.
Yeah. Yep. And I still think
he felt betrayed.
I still think he is.
Do you think Jimmy G can make his way back to New England, or is that too much of controversy?
No,
because that would say they don't believe in Mac Jones.
Yeah. Mac Jones is too good of a quarterback to have to, I'd say they're pretty even. And I think when he, Belichick got him, he was like, okay, I think we're good now.
Yeah.
Play styles are pretty similar. And he's a little bit younger. So I think he got a better fit with Mac Jones right now.
I fully agree. I fully agree with that. It's good. One of our hot free agents, when we do start talking about free agents in a future episode, we're gonna put Jimmy G in the, it might be in the trade market, but he's one of those guys we want to know where he goes, what happens with him. He's a hot storyline for sure. Let's go next up. We have the Buffalo Bills. This is another intriguing story. I want to know where this money's coming from. The Buffalo Bills are 4.7 in the negative. Effective cap at, we'll say, 8 million in the negative, with only 1 million in dead money. I want to know where's this money? Who are they overpaying? Who are we paying?
I mean, we got Stephon Diggs at almost 18 million. Travarius White, he's at 16. Then you got Josh Allen at 16. Traymon Edmonds at 12. You got Deion Dawkins at 12, 13. They're both around 12, 13. Mitch Morse at 11. You got Jordan Poyer at 11. Micah Hyde at 10. And then you have Matt Milano at 10. And Darrell Williams at 10. So
I'm going to say this. This team is either
a lot of people at big dollar.
We talked about this when it came to the Cardinals making that move. They went all in. Josh Allen's in this rookie contract, still looking like this is your zone. You probably got 2 more years.
Oh, he's not in a rookie contract.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's still rookie contract, but soon to be paid. No,
he's not in rookie contract. He's got a different one. So his 2022 salary is 16.3, which we said. 2023, he's moving up to 39.
Well, that was my point I was going to make is once he makes that contract, he gets signed, there is a 2-year window where that money starts ballooning.
Mm-hmm. That's a massive balloon right there.
Yeah, and that's where this window, like next year, this is my projection for them going into next year. They're going to trim the fat, very slightly trim the fat. They're probably going to retain everybody, as many people as they can. Make very minimal splashy moves in free agency. Hope on the draft to fill those needs and make their push. If they feel there's someone out there in free agency they love, I think they'll go out and get them, and they'll cut somebody big, somebody that, and that might when we say trim the fat, sometimes trimming the fat is not just trimming a guy that's underperforming. Sometimes that's cutting a guy like a Stephon Diggs just to make a lot more money. Sometimes that's what happens. A player could be an all-star stud player, but you can't pay everybody.
Right.
And sometimes the Stephon Diggs needs to turn into 2 Emmanuel Sanders to save your team. There's those moves that are weird that they leave us with head scratchers. Like, why would you do that? This guy is so good. But it's those money things, and that's why I said teams need to win when their QB, like your window, to me, is real slim. Once it starts ballooning, that QB's got to play for those made-up salaries that are now gone. And can Josh Allen be that guy? I think so. He's got a lot more to prove. I would like to see him win more playoff games. He's got to get to a Super Bowl to be like all elite to me. Not that that's the ultimate card, but I would like to see it. Sell me on it a little more. He improved a lot to me this year. I thought he was a choke artist in the postseason last year. So that was my, what can he do this year? Can he improve on that? And he did. So that makes me happy. Other than that, I'm ready to move on if you are.
Yes.
All right,
Falcons.
Next up, Atlanta Falcons, 6.6 and dead. This is a team that's in deep trouble, by the way. Effective cap space is 12 under or 12 over, $12 million over the cap. $15 million in dead money, 52 players signed. Here's what I think. Give me Matt Ryan's contract.
Matt Ryan, $48 million.
How much is this guaranteed?
0.
We're cutting Matt Ryan tomorrow.
I cut him in a heartbeat. Yeah, you got to move on. You're better with a rookie backup somebody right now.
Matt Ryan. We are moving on.
Listen, they've also had him at no guaranteed contract. Wasn't last year either, and the year before was only $1 million. So there's only his guaranteed. The only most he's ever had is guaranteed is 2018 for $6 million, and they still stuck with him the whole entire time.
I think they're high on him. I think they love him. He's their savior. Take him to the Super Bowl.
$48 million coming up in this contract.
I still think
you can't eat that.
Hear me. I think Matt Ryan is still a starting QB for a team.
Or restructure.
It's got to be he's got to. You cannot pay him this much money.
Done. You can't.
Yeah. This is why I think the Falcons can be fine. You can move on from him. You could cut him and re-sign him, you restructure it, but you cannot pay this man $48 million. Can you imagine? You cut him today. You're now net positive, and we'll even take their effective cap number. Okay, you are now $28 million in the positive.
Right.
Like that feels good. That feels great. You still need a QB, but I'm sure you can make $28 million work. Now, there are some very unfortunate circumstances. Calvin Ridley situation with him. We wish him the best, hope the best.
Right.
That's more money that's going to be tied up. So you got some money that's tied up in places that you really got to work with. Matt Ryan included in that. But I think they could do it. It's just worrisome.
Yeah, Calvin Ridley's was 11 mil this year.
Mhm.
It's jumping from 3 to 11, so we'll see if he's even a part of a team.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Tennessee Titans at $6.9 million. If you could get me Tannehill, actually give me the top 5 guys of the Titans. 9, and if Tannehill's not in there, I would like his.
Yep.
Effective is 9.7 in the negative, and we'll say under $1 million in dead money. So good. That's good. But give me those Titan contracts. Let's hear our top.
So your
top 5 guys.
number one overall is Ryan Tannehill.
Mhm.
He's at almost 39 million.
How much?
39 million
What's his guaranteed? What's our hit if we cut him
his
today?
Guaranteed. His guaranteed total is 29. I think. I don't know if it's this year.
Because if we cut him and we're
his guaranteed this year is 29 million.
So look, we're stuck.
Guaranteed.
We're stuck with him. Yeah, you're not moving on. You're not saving money by cutting him.
No.
So who we moving on from? Who's the next guy?
Bud Dupree at 19 mil.
I don't know if you want to move on from him, but
he's guaranteed 16 mil.
So you're not moving on from him.
You got Kevin Byard at 16 mil. And his guaranteed is 500,000. I mean,
that might be a situation. I would like to point
out Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry at 15 mil.
Some of these players
from Derrick Henry.
No, hear me out. Some of these players are really good receivers, or something to receive, but players. Some of these people are really good players,
right?
But sometimes you have to make money. You have to make the cuts. That player, like as good as Derrick Henry is, if we cut Derrick Henry and I could bring in 2 guys, I might have to do it.
More than that, right?
I might have to do that.
You could get 2 guys plus a rookie or something out of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the problem. I mean, I love Derrick Henry. I don't think I would want to trade him personally, but it also depends from a GM standpoint and away from a fan standpoint. A GM me would probably be moving on from Derrick Henry. He's got a lot of fatigue on his body. He is an amazing player from a fan standpoint. I don't know how many more years he has. I want to know what value I can get from him if I traded him to another team. Because if I trade him, I'm saving myself just money at this point. I'm getting picks and money. So I'm willing to trade him.
I would keep him and move on from Kevin Byard.
But is that the fan in you?
In that position.
Is that the fan in you, or is that the GM?
It's the contracts. I mean, it's a safety. He's a good safety, but I think I could find someone. Let me see what his age is. I don't even know. He's 29, so he's not that old. But in a safety position, you definitely want speed back.
I mean,
there.
Yeah.
I would move on from him. I probably would move on from him, and then that's only 500,000 hit. Oh no, it's guaranteed is 0. So if you're not taking any hit on him, it's a big chance it could leave an open gap in that defense if you don't find the right person. But
absolutely,
you got to do something. You can't move on from Tannehill. That's the first person you'd want to move on from.
Yeah, and you can't. You can't.
How did they fall for something like this? How did this happen?
Tannehill was we give Tannehill a lot of crap. He's not a terrible QB, for the record. He's not terrible, but I just don't feel he's the answer.
He's close to Sam Darnold terrible.
Oh God, no, get out of here. Sam Darnold's way better.
No.
Tannehill is he's a shot caller. He can handle the ball, not miss.
Better.
Way better.
Oh my!
All right, we're moving on to the Giants. The G-men, 11 million and over the cap, 23 million over the cap in effective cap space. 54 players signed.
Their players.
Hold on though, 290K in dead money. That's pretty impressive.
No, that is good.
But give me them players.
Their top 5 doesn't even include their quarterback or running back.
No, that's
right.
Awesome. Give it to me though. Who's
Leonard Williams at 27 million. You got James Bradbury at 22 mil. Kenny Galladay that didn't do much this year, right?
Mhm.
21 million. 21 million.
This is
That
why
right there.
I loved Kenny G. Kenny G with the routes that were so smooth in Detroit. Kenny G was making Randy Moss blush. This man was a great
they're not
receiver.
going on from him either.
Oh no, they ain't. They owe he
10
too
million
much
guaranteed
money.
salary. 10 million guaranteed on him.
But
He ain't going anywhere.
and he's an amazing run blocker. That's the thing that drives me nuts. Is when I would watch Giants games, it was like he wasn't trying. It's like I got my money, I'm done. And it bugs me watching
seems like
him.
that happens to some people. Holy, that's cap. Never mind. Oh yeah, this Leonard Williams ain't going anywhere either. He's at 19 million guaranteed this next year.
I'm sure these GMs find a way to get back on track, and especially the Giants. It looks like they got very little dead money. They'll find some room, some people to cut, not a problem.
Yep.
But from projecting win standpoint, it's not looking good because it means you don't have room to improve. Not much room to improve.
There's no improvements that they can really do. You're stuck. You got guaranteed salaries on Daniel Jones. This next year of almost $4 million. That's a big hit if you let him go.
I think Daniel Jones. I think they'll eventually just move on from. I don't think they'll just won't re-sign him. But here's the problem: is you got to make some real deep cuts. Deep in your roster where we're talking. You got to start making the cuts where you got a guy that's okay and he's making $3 million, but you got to cut him. You got to cut him.
That you might see cut here soon. Graham Gano.
What's he making?
He's at almost over almost $5 million as a kicker. So
Graham Gano.
Yep.
I mean, it depends on the guaranteed money.
There's no guarantee. Oh, there's $3 million guaranteed this year.
He ain't going anywhere.
He ain't going anywhere.
He ain't going anywhere.
I just noticed that. That's a wrap.
He actually, you know what though? To save $2 million, they might move on. You never know. They might move on.
Yeah. No.
I mean, we're talking. This team's got probably almost the lowest dead cap number. They're definitely in top 5 of low cap number. I mean, you can make some hits. Mm-hmm. And most of these teams will improve that dead money. That dead money will increase.
Right.
No matter what. I mean, teams are, you pay a guy $20 million, his guaranteed's 10. You're still gonna sometimes cut him to save 10.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Giants I think your QB's already not making a lot of money. They're gonna have to make those deep roster cuts, which to me hurts an organization in a very deep way. Moving on to a team that I'm really excited to talk about, and I want to get some more opinions on, and that's the Los Angeles Rams. $13 million.
Yeah.
And they're $13 million over the cap, almost 14. $17 million in effective dead money. 47 players signed, but they have $289K and dead money. Very impressive, even lower than the Giants there. I think this number is going to increase big time because they got some. Give me those contract numbers. Give me them juicy numbers.
Here. We got Aaron Donald at number 1 with almost $27 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's look at some of the other stuff for him too, because is he guaranteed? He's no guaranteed contract this year.
So you're not moving on from AD. You're not moving on.
He ain't going anywhere. I'm not saying that.
You ain't moving on.
You got Jaylen Ramsey at $23 million. Is he guaranteed? He's got a $7.5 million guaranteed contract. You ain't moving on from him either, right? Then you got Matthew Stafford at $23 million.
Let me see it.
No guarantee on this at all.
They ain't moving on from Stafford. We know that.
He wins the Super Bowl, they're going to have to pay him more.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because he's a free agent. He's a free agent next year.
Oh, yeah. See, and that's the problem with the Rams. This is why I want to get into that is granted.
And we got Leonard Floyd at $20 million. Cooper Kupp is at 18, almost $19 million. Right? And you know him. This is his last year. Oh, He's a free agent in 2024, so he's got 2 more years on his contract, and they're both 18 million.
OBJ's a free agent. Like we could name some more people that they want to sign. OBJ's a guy I think they need to sign, but they can't
want
afford.
They can't afford.
He has to take a severe hometown discount, and I think for him, I think it's best for his career.
Like, where is he? He's not even on here. Oh, let's look at his contract. So I don't know if it's because I don't know what it is. He made he's at 400,000 in 2022. So something's gonna happen. He only made, these numbers are not gonna be fly on his part, right?
He is a free agent at the end.
He did make money in the Browns, so he didn't. Didn't. It's not like
I was gonna say the Browns absorbed his contract basically.
Right.
But this team, it's really sad because this team's gonna have to make some deep cuts. This is that. The Rams trading Goff, the Lions absorbing Goff's salary was the biggest part of why the Rams made that move. They traded, trust me, the Lions got a king ransom in draft picks, 2 first rounds, I think 2 seconds, a third. Huge king ransom. And we got a starting QB. Problem for the Lions is they had to absorb his contract. So for the present, they are in some deep crap where they can't move on from.
No, they didn't get a starting quarterback. They got a career backup quarterback.
Yeah, after next year. So we're talking 2023. I think the Lions are going to be set up in a very good. We'll be talking about the Lions with $60 million in free money. They're going to be set in a very good situation for double first-round picks for the next 2 years. They're going to be set. They're going to be good. It's looking good. Multiple early-round picks. I have high hopes for them. Rams, though, I mean, the one thing that's good about the Rams is they don't have a first or a second-round pick for like 3-4 years. So they're good. They don't have to pay that big first, second-round contract. So that's the good news for the Rams. But the also good thing about the Rams is they're not afraid to make those moves to go out and get those guys, and it's paid off this year. And if they win a Super Bowl, it's really paid off. And I'm impressed. Even if they lose, I'm impressed. They made the moves. They do it. We'll see what happens next year. Who do they re-sign? Who do they bring back? Who do they cut? Where do those people go? Now, we can start after the Rams. We start to get into some teams that are a bit more question marks. This next one is a big one. Minnesota Vikings, $15.5 million over the cap. Effective, we'll say $20 million. 58 players signed. And we'll say $7 million in dead money.
Yeah. Well, your biggest question mark is Kirk Cousins. Is he even going to be on the team?
And what's his contract? Is he even contracted for next year?
They're looking at, they're looking at trading him. So whether they have guaranteed salary or not on that, that's going with the other team or going somewhere.
Well, Kirk Cousins made the Pro Bowl.
He has $35 million in guaranteed salary. He's not staying on that team. He will be traded.
Problem is you got to find a trade partner that wants him.
$45 million is his cap number. That's what he has in salary. His base salary is guaranteed this next year at $35 million.
The problem is you got to find
Daniel Hunter is at $26 million. Then you got Adam Thielen at 17. Eric Kendricks almost 14.
What's Thielen's guaranteed money?
0.
Thielen's gone this year. That's my opinion. Or they're restructuring. He's gone or he restructures. Yeah, I think he's a good receiver, but they're moving on.
Oh yeah,
he's one of those guys. He's a good player, but we got to make money, and he's a number 2. I'm paying my number 2 that much money.
Dalvin Cook.
Get him out.
Dalvin Cook is at. Well, yeah, you got Justin Jefferson, right? He's at guaranteed 1.8 mil. He's only at 3.5 mil for the year.
That's your number 1. To me, that's why a guy like Thielen is on the chopping block. Your number 2 receiver, he's on the chopping block. You're making too much money.
Right.
And, too much money with no guarantees. You're off. I played Madden plenty of times, franchise mode. You're off the team if you're making that much money. I love you, but I'm trading you. I'm trading you for pennies.
They're going to drop about 9-10 mil with Anthony Barr because he's already off the team.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's 10 mil that has not come off. And so that right there will have some.
Still not enough, but they still got to make moves.
No, but I mean 10 mil is 10 mil. Right?
This team, I think, is just in future trouble. They got to make some big moves and move money around. Not by far, not the worst.
Mm-mm.
We're going to be coming up to our next 3 teams are the biggest questions. Next is the Dallas Cowboys with $21 million in over the cap, $21 million over cap, $24 million effective. 24 million over the cap effective, 48 players signed, 7 million in dead money. A lot of big name players, a lot of flashy people on this team. They paid Dak. Dak's getting a shit ton of money.
34 million, almost 35 million. You got 20 million in guaranteed this next year. Marcus Lawrence at 27 mil.
Yeah.
No guarantees for this next year for him. Amari Cooper's at 22 mil and played like crap this last year.
Mm-hmm.
No guarantees. And then you got Zach Martin at 20 mil.
I don't think they're cutting him.
You have Ezekiel Elliott at 18 mil, and he's got 12.5 mil guaranteed this year.
I was projecting they might move on from Zeke.
I thought so too,
I still think they might. That's you're still saving 6 mil.
Yeah.
I think there's other players on that list that you gotta cut too. 50
and you have to remember too, some of these guys coming up and coming. CeeDee Lamb, he's at 4 mil. You got Micah Parsons, had a great year at 4 mil.
He was to me one of the steals of the draft too. Awesome player. I mean, but that's when we talk about moving on from some players. I think Vanderbosch on their team is an amazing player, but they're gonna have to. He's buried in the depth chart, and I think they're moving on from him.
I think DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be the one you're going to have to do something with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're 27 million right there. What are you going to do with that? That's a heart-wrenching move because he's a good player.
Again, we say that though.
You
can't pay everybody.
Yeah,
Once that QB makes that much money, and mind you, I would love to know.
Takes them out of the cat, the red with one player. That's crazy.
Yeah, 24 million over cap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have said 50 at one point because I might have looked at I might have jumped ahead a bit.
No, good. No, you're good.
What is Dak's contract for the next 3 years? How much does this balloon? Because this is my point.
Let's see.
The problem for the Cowboys is it came faster.
So next year he's got 34 mil.
Mm-hmm.
He jumps to 23, drops to 45.5 mil, and then 48.5.
So it's not gonna balloon too quickly.
There's no guarantees after this last year though.
Mm-hmm.
This next year. So if he's not up to performance, you know what I mean? They can move on. And there's been question marks with him for a long time.
I honestly, I was one of those people in the camp of, I feel for Dak with his injury that happened. I truly do.
Right.
I know I hope the best for him with his mental state. I really do. Problem is, I just didn't think he was worth that money. I don't think he was worth how much. I don't think he's worth what they're paying him now. But I think Jerry Jones and Dallas Cowboys, their hand was forced with that injury because they look like such villains that they made him play on a salary on a franchise tag, and then he gets possibly a career-ending injury to fight. But I felt like they felt like their hand was forced, and they have to pay him this much money.
This contract is 4 year, 160 million, and there's 95 million of that is guaranteed.
That's what I feel like they.
That's huge.
I think they did. I think on a personal standpoint, I think the Cowboys did it right. But from a GM standpoint, no. I probably would have been the villain and let you walk. I would have been the villain, let you walk. But I think that would have been the best thing for the team on a future standpoint with my money. But from like a good person standpoint, not at all. You look like a complete trash person.
Right.
And I think that's why they had to do it. I really do. Optics are everything. They're America's team. I think they had to. Hopefully Dak can play worth that money. Problem is, we just talked about it. You're losing pieces. This team is losing big names here. We're going to see some of these at free agency. We're going to hear on the trade alerts. Some people are moving. Now these next two teams are where we get into. I was in panic mode for my Lions. This is crisis mode. This is the nuclear power plant is about to explode. The Packers are next with $50 million. Oh, $50 million over the cap with 54 and effective over the cap. 55 players signed. Almost no dead money. Only $732K in dead money. Give me the top. Give me the top three guys, and give me the top three.
Well, Aaron Rodgers top right now at 46 mil, almost 47.
How much guaranteed?
Is 0.
Boom, right there. That's we're probably moving on from A-Rod, right?
I mean, you almost have to. You know, Zadarius Smith is next at 27 mil, no guarantee. You have David Bakhtiari.
Yeah, I don't think you're moving on from him. He
22 mil.
He is probably the best left tackle in the game.
Oh,
big guy.
He's good.
Bruising guy.
Kenny Clark at 21 mil. You got Preston Smith at 20 mil. So I mean, you got a lot of
fat in the front.
A lot of mills in five players. You know,
and that's huge. We seen Jordan Love ain't ready for the big leagues.
Yeah,
you might have to suck it up and bring Aaron Rodgers back and try to make him happy. But here's the problem with the Packers: they can't afford to bring in more help for Aaron Rodgers. They're re-signing players. They've been big for a long time until like 2 years ago. They were not active in free agency. They drafted and promoted from within, got their guys. Next man up mentality. It was working out, but I think Aaron Rodgers carried that team a lot. A lot. Oh. I don't know what this team 100%. Looks like without him is the problem.
Jordan Love. What? What?
The fall of the Packers? The decline? I mean, something. They're kind of forced in a way. If you let Aaron Rodgers go, it sucks to say because you're losing your starting QB. Your icon, your franchise hero since Brett Favre. But you could breathe a sigh of relief on cap space. Like, that's such a massive number that you could just, we can just trim some middle fat and we'll be back on cap number. We can make some rookie contracts work within that and we'll get by. But it's not every day. It's like replacing Brady, I've said this about Brady. You don't have to. I'm not looking for someone to be Tom Brady. I'm looking for someone to just be acceptable. And I think the Packers might have to do that. I hate to say it. I don't want to. I don't really want to always pay my QB 40-some million. But if I have the cap space, sure, we'll do it. Sure, we'll do it. But the Packers don't. We're paying too many players too much money.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like Aaron Rodgers is ready to retire.
So I don't think so either.
It either stays another year or they go somewhere else.
And maybe he just restructures his contract. Who knows? But he made his contract set up the way it is set up. I've heard some. Right. Now, if we want to get into fairy tale land, okay? I've heard rumors of him going to San Francisco. I heard he loves California.
He's from there.
He's from there. I think he would be an amazing fit. I think he would be an unbelievable fit. I think Devontae Adams would try to join him.
Make a top contender right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
But do you go back to his draft day
in his comment.
They're gonna regret not drafting me.
Yeah. So I mean, does he still take that? Is he still holding that grudge? He seems to be one to hold grudges.
I think he would go back.
We've seen it with his family, right?
Yeah.
We've seen it with his family and how he holds grudges, and his family does too. So I don't know. You know,
I personally, I think he would. I don't think he would. I think he'd go there, and I think he'd make some witty comment about it. Now, one of the reasons I say he probably won't is I don't think he would enjoy being in Cali, political wise. I don't think that's not where he aligns himself. Yeah. That's not his crowd.
Yeah,
that's not where he sits.
He's not a Cali guy when it comes to that.
He's not. Okay. He's not a San Fran guy. That is not. It's not him. So that's where it's not the biggest fit. But I mean, we've seen that with Stafford. Stafford's a bit of the same way. He's just not as outspoken. His wife Kelly has been more outspoken about political issues that have arisen through the years. So you know, Stafford could do it. I think Aaron Rodgers is way more vocal than that, though.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my concern of why he wouldn't go there. But I think that is the best fit for him on a game standpoint. But Packers, if you re-sign him, you're trimming fat, beefy, thick fat. Mm-hmm. You know, front end fat. It's not. You're not going deep in the depth chart, cutting 6 here, 5 there. It's got to be $20 million contracts, 30s. So that's going to be rough. Speaking of rough, is our last team here. And this team is in destructo mode. This is why Sean Payton left. 100%. You cannot convince me.
He went to overthecap.com and saw this.
This is why Sean Payton left. He's like, we have $75 million over the cap, with $80 million effective over the cap, 57 signed, and $12 million in dead money. Tell me, who are they paying? Where's this money going?
There's a lot of big guaranteed contracts. And first, we'll start with that.
That's terrifying.
We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 players with $10 million or more in guaranteed monies, and 2 of them almost over 20, and that's Marshawn Lattimore and Ryan Ramczyk.
Those are 2 players I don't think they're getting rid of. Those are 2 great players. Right. They're not getting rid of those.
Well, you know, you can't. At $24 million and $19 million, you ain't getting rid of those guarantees. Who's going to swallow that up? Ain't nobody is. They're just going to add to their overage. Marshawn Lattimore's at $27 million. You have Michael Thomas that didn't play, right?
Mm-hmm. I think
he was hurt all year.
Give me his contract.
He's at $24 million.
How much guarantee?
Almost 25, no guarantees. But you're not going to get rid of him.
No, 100%.
That would be the
project him. No, 100. They're $75 million over. You matter. Have to. We talked. I see what you're saying, and I respect it. But this is why I say that. It's because this is one of those players you're like, you're not moving on from it. They have to. They have to. He is the prime example of a guy they have to move on from. 1, he didn't play. That's a big no-go. 2, you're freeing up $25 million in money. I don't care how good you are. I'm $75 million over. I don't have a QB. I don't even have a QB. This is why Sean Payton left. This team has been rammed into the dirt on a GM side. This team is in trouble. I do think they have done it in years past. They will find a miracle to be back on track. But we're going to see names get traded, dropped. We're going to see some, Michael Thomas. We're seeing people hit the free agency or traded. Big time, good player names. They're gone. Give me Alvin Kamara's contract, please.
Alvin Kamara is at he's at $14.5 million. 11.5 of that guaranteed.
Now I see him move. I could see them moving on from him if they could find a trade partner that's willing to take the guaranteed money. That's another
I don't
player I
know.
could see.
I don't know.
I don't think it's great.
Well,
I
got
don't think you
Taysom
want to.
Hill. Listen, you got Taysom Hill, their
Mhm.
quarterback, right? That can't throw.
Who plays 4 positions. He might have to play every position at this point.
$12.5 million is his cap number. He has $10 million of that guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
He
hurting on him.
might
Ain't
have to
nobody
play
taking him.
receiver and tight end and quarterback. He might have to play everything.
Ain't nobody taking that contract on.
Nobody. No, he's staying. That's the sad part. He's staying. He's probably the QB.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the team that's in the most amount of trouble.
Oh yeah.
This team is hurt. They're adios, sayonara, goodbye.
I mean, they still got Jameis Winston, right?
I don't believe so. I mean, we could check it, but
I mean, didn't he get?
I do not believe they do.
He was void. Yeah, he was voided this year. What happened with him? He got hurt? I thought, right? And that was it.
I can't recall. I know we were kind of on the Jameis hype for a bit, but this team, Sean Payton, this is why he walked away. When you look at this number, and then $80 million in effective dead money, or excuse me, $80 million effective over the cap. This is like all-star players have to be moved. Like people got to go. We got to. This is complete and utter restructure, rebuild. This is a catastrophe for the Saints. And it's sad because the Saints have looked decent and look like they were only a couple players away from making big moves into the postseason. I mean, they almost made the postseason.
Talk of Jameis Winston to Tampa Bay. Back to Tampa Bay. Huh?
Yeah, this team is. I'm sorry, it's over.
Hurting.
It's over. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not gonna happen. The honeymoon's over. Sean Payton left. I think Sean Payton kept this team together as well. Great play caller, great coach. I don't think he's done coaching personally, but you can't do when you see this number. This is why he walked away. In my opinion, 100%.
Yeah, that's hard to swallow.
Mm-hmm.
Being stuck with what you have, not being able to do much, and losing good players. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
not where you want to be. That's for sure.
I just jumped ahead a couple of years just to see where numbers lined up. I can't trust many of those numbers, but I'm just curious. They'll make some magic work, but we're talking just cutting players. We're not even talking about signing rookies, signing free agents. We're not even on that point yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are way too many questions there, and way too many questions with not enough answers. So we will see how it lines up. But with that said, this was a megalathon of a show, 2 hours long. When we first started, we talked this show was gonna be a quick one. Like, I did not see this going 2 hours, but I'm happy you did. It was really fun, great time. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Thanks for checking us out. If you are not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Please comment, share with your friends. However best you enjoy the content, please let us know. Also, just again, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. And can't see you guys next week. Oh, but have a great weekend, first of all. Have a good Valentine's Day on Monday. Sit back, enjoy the Super Bowl. It's going to be freaking amazing. And we'll see you guys next week when I have a brand new crown. Good night.
See about that.
Yeah,
tie, baby. It's tie time again.
Yeah, that's going to suck. But next week, we love you guys. Stay safe and thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.